Hello YouTube, and that fast it is Monday morning. I'm on my way to work, walking to the train station, and a topic came to my mind about settling and how many people actually do settle. And I feel like it's a difference between settling and just life happens. So for me, I feel like a person who settles is like, say for example, if you start dating a man that's separated, right, from his wife, and he tells you, oh, I'm gonna get divorced in X amount of years, or I'm gonna get my own place in X amount of years, or whatever, and year after year you still stay and you put up with the nonsense that goes with that, that's settling, because that wasn't your goal, and now you with it, right? Or if you're a woman you've always dated a man who works, and then suddenly you get with a guy who don't work. Like for me, I have what I call non-negotiables. So like certain things I'm not tolerating, right? Like unemployment. And I've always been like this, even in my younger days. You can't just be unemployed. You gotta be looking for something. And so far everybody's had a job. And when I didn't have a job, I was in school going on interviews. So I practice what I preach as well. So, like that's an example of settling. Like you're a person who works, pay bills, and then you get with a guy who disrespectful, unemployed, let's put he got a record in there, that's settling. And then he ugly on top of that, that's settling. And you just don't like him. You don't like him as a person. Let's say he got a bad attitude. Let's just say he's just a fucked up person, and you chose to stay with him because all your friends and family say, oh, because he's the father of your child, you have to be with this man. And I'm here to tell you the devil is a liar. It's not true. So, that's settling, because you are not attracted to him, y'all don't get along, he don't work, and so you're just with him. And you have women that's like that. They settle for the sake of having a man. And it's not worth doing that, because you start to resent the person, right? You have a lot of men who settle as well, and you could tell because of the things that they do, like separate rooms. They start to do disappearing acts. They start to do things that they clearly don't want to be with that person, and so they act accordingly. That's a sign of settling. Now, an example of life happens is like, let's say for example, somebody joins the army. Now, when you're in the army, you have a lot of good benefits, but things happen. A person could get injured in war, for example, right? So let's say they go to Afghanistan, but they get injured. As a result of their injury, now the only income they have is from the army. They can't get a job. That's not settling. It's life happened, right? And you're nursing your man back to health. Hopefully, he'll get healed and eventually go back to work. But that's not settling. That's life happened and whatever. But comment, like, and subscribe. What do you feel like is the difference between settling and life happening?